Now, picking up where we left off at the end of the last chapter with Mirko kicking down the door to a surprised Ujiko, this chapter would continue with a similar type of energy. Starting off with showing a touching moment between Johnny and Ujiko, a moment that for a lot of us probably make Ujiko and Johnny actually both more likable. Up to this point, Ujiko has really just been a villain. We've seen nothing to like about him. He's just a guy that does bad things. A moment like this makes you kinda wanna root for the guy, especially when combined with things that happen later in the chapter. And also at the beginning of this chapter, something else was revealed, and that is that Ujiko is actually holding 2 replicated quirks in his hands. If you've seen one of our other videos this week, you know that I suggested that Ujiko might be holding All for One. But now that it's revealed that he's holding 2 quirks, that makes things a lot more interesting. My first thought would be to say he's holding All for One and also One for All, but when they would have gotten a sample of One for All is something I don't know, so I won't say that, leaving room for speculation. Continuing on with the chapter, we see a flashback of a moment between All for One and Ujiko, one that Ujiko clearly holds very close to his heart because it's a moment where All for One thanks him for his work and calls him a dear friend. Continuing from this meaningful flashback, we see the door that Mirko kicked down not only crush Johnny, but fly into the tube holding one of the high-end nomus, shattering it, followed by the destruction of who knows how many replicated quirks in the process. The look on Ujiko's face during this moment was just priceless, and Mirko, not caring at all, just continues to then phone into Endeavor that she's found Ujiko and the place where they're holding a bunch of other strong nomu, known to us as high-ends. Now, we don't get to hear what's going on the other side of the phone at this moment, but based on what Mirko says in response, it sounds like Endeavor asked her if this is the real Ujiko or if it's a clone, to which she says she'll just have to kick him and find out. Endeavor then tells her to capture him and gives an update on their situation, letting her know that they won't be there soon because they're being held up by a ton of low-end nomu. And we know these low-end nomu aren't necessarily strong, but when they're being sent in such high volume, they can slow you down, which is the case right now with Endeavor and the rest of the pro heroes. Transitioning from there, we get a shot at Crust, the shield hero, on his way, but again being intercepted by low-end nomu, and at the same time, we see Mirko charging in to figure out if Dr. Ujiko is the real one or if he is in fact a clone. And at this moment, fear just hits Ujiko. We see panic written all over his face, snot flying out of his nose. This man was scared, but at the same time, in the back of his mind, he remembered he has the high-end nomu, which is a little bit surprising that he didn't consider to take them out already, or that it would be something he even possibly could have forgotten to do. And through this moment, we learned that these high-end nomu have not reached the testing phase yet, but Ujiko, knowing he has no choice at this moment, decides to pull out the heat out of his jacket, the remote to trigger the high-end nomu. It was then that we learned more about Hood and the other high-end nomu, which, as we all probably could have guessed, aren't as easy to make without All for One, and apparently take around 10 hours to stabilize after they've been activated. But according to Ujiko, in this moment, they should be strong enough to handle the threats on their way. The scene would then be interrupted by Mirko landing her kick, but failing to follow up because of Mocha, who came in as a distraction, and started using its quirk without command to form a clone of Ujiko, using twice his double quirk. Which is terrifying, but that'll be put to an end very quickly by Mirko kicking the life out of it. But in that moment, Ujiko was able to activate the high-ends, who with no hesitation burst out of their tubes and began attacking Mirko. Credit to Mirko though, because she did manage to deal some damage in that instant before flying across the lab. We would then be introduced to our new threats, the Crimson Riot looking nomu, a Majin Buu looking nomu, and the female nomu, as well as the others. Like Hood, they are capable of speech, which is very exciting because it adds some more personality instead of just being robots fighting heroes essentially. They didn't say too much in the moments directly coming after their activation, but they did let us know that it's been a while. I guess a while since they've last been activated or last fought. Either way, they're ready to go wild, and unfortunately for the Mirko fans, they're ready to go wild on her. Fortunately though, at least if you're a believer in Crust, he would arrive on the scene to then be confronted by a huge nomu that actually knows who he is. Unsure of the rank though, which is number 6. I'm not sure how things will progress from here, whether we'll see that be a straight up one-on-one fight, whether the other heroes are right behind and we're about to see them jump this huge nomu, or if some of the other nomu will divert their attention from Mirko and instead go help that huge nomu against Crust. Dr. Ujiko being the snake he is though, in this moment scurried away in his chair, leaving the situation to his high ends. And despite being damaged, Mirko still seems in high spirits and is not giving up on chasing Ujiko. So all around, things are looking exciting for the next chapter. That's all I have for you guys on this one. If you love My Hero Academia and you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to Plot Armor for some of the best My Hero Academia content on YouTube. Until next time, I'm Young Kami J. Have a great day. Goodbye.